Welcome to the Dream Coach podcast. This is the space where we really can help you unlock potential and help you create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm Shayla Way, and today I'm going to be diving into a topic that could be the turning point in your journey. And this is where we're going to dive into talking about shifting your limiting beliefs and, yes, stopping the lies that you've been telling yourself. Here's the truth. If you want to achieve your dreams, the biggest obstacles aren't external, they're internal. It's the fear, the self doubt, the I'm not good enough stories that keep you playing small. So, today we're going to talk about why it's so important to reprogram your mindset for success, break free from those limiting beliefs, and most importantly, get brutally honest with yourself. The life you want is within your reach. But first, you've got to stop lying to yourself about why you haven't got there yet. So if you're ready to break through those mental barriers and step into the person you're meant to be, stay tuned. Let's shift that mindset and start building your life, your dream life together. So there's three key areas that I want to dive into today. And the first one is just recognizing the power of self-belief. Personally, this is something that I've struggled with majority of my life. And this is the number one thing that pretty much holds everybody back is that we don't think we're good enough. And these limiting beliefs are often rooted in fear or past failures. And what can happen is they can trap you in that self-doubt and really prevent you from achieving your true potential. And so when we take some space to really shift those beliefs and we acknowledge that we're a lot more capable of more than maybe we thought, that's really the first step in growth. And that's just that belief in your own power to create the life that you want. And so limiting beliefs are often those invisible chains that hold us back from pursuing our dream life. These beliefs are rooted in fear or past experiences. And what happens is they sort of convince us that we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not capable enough. And they create a comfort zone of self doubt that prevents us from stepping into our full potential. So, recognizing the power of self belief is crucial because it's the foundation for everything that we set out to achieve. And many of these limiting beliefs are formed early on, perhaps from past failures or negative feedback, or even just societal expectations. And over time, we internalize these stories and we let those dictate our actions or inactions. And if we don't take time to uncheck those, they can lead us to play small, accept less than we deserve, and avoid chasing our biggest goals altogether. So, shifting these beliefs begins with the simple yet profound acknowledgement that you are capable of more than you think. So, when you decide to believe in yourself despite fear of failure, you create the space for growth and opportunity. And self belief allows you to see beyond current circumstances and limitations, giving you the confidence to take bold action towards your dreams. And the first step to growth is believing that you have the power to create the life you want. And so by changing your internal narrative from I can't to I can, you open up a world of possibilities. And the more you nurture this belief, the more resilient you become in the face of challenges. And the more your confidence grows with each step forward. And so it really is a shift in mindset that doesn't just help you achieve your goals, but it transforms how you see yourself and what you think you're capable of. The second key to this is to really be honest with yourself, and that is to stop lying to yourself. This morning I had an opportunity with a group, a mastermind group that I was a part of, and the journaling question was, what are you lying to yourself about right now? So we often make excuses to tell ourselves stories like, I'm not ready, or it's too late, to avoid any of that discomfort or risk. And what happens is these lies are really barriers to our dreams. So taking some time to be brutally honest with yourself about what's holding you back is crucial for breaking free of these mental chains. And this awareness leads to action. So I encourage you to take that same journaling question that I worked through earlier today is, what am I lying to myself about right now? And just taking a step back to really be real with yourself. And when you journal that, it's really powerful and it allows you to have a really big reset in what's holding me back. And one of the biggest barriers to pursuing our dreams isn't external. It's the lies you tell yourself. And these lies come in the form of excuses like, I'm not ready, I don't have enough time, or it's too late for me to start. These self deceptions are ways to protect yourself from the discomfort, uncertainty, or potential failure that comes with going after something bigger. But the problem is they keep you stuck, paralyzed by inaction, and far from the life that you truly want. So why do we lie to ourselves? Well, often because facing the truth is uncomfortable. When I had an opportunity this morning to really journal on what was really there for me, what was I lying to myself about? What was holding me back from this next level of success, this next chapter that I'm excited to dive into? It can feel uncomfortable. It can be emotional. But taking that time to acknowledge that we're scared, procrastinating, or settling for less forces us to confront tough realities we'd rather not. So instead of doing that, we just create narratives to justify why we aren't moving forward. And these stories feel safer than taking risks. But in the long run, they are barriers to growth and fulfillment. So being brutally honest with yourself is the key to breaking free from those mental chains. It means confronting your fears, acknowledging your weaknesses, and admitting what's holding yourself back. So, for example, are you truly not ready? Or are you just afraid of stepping out of your comfort zone? Is it really too late? Or are you just letting fear of failure stop you from trying? The more honest you are about the real reasons behind your excuses, the more empowered you become to change. And awareness is going to help lead to action. So once you see through these lies that you've been telling yourself, you can begin to take steps towards your goals. Honesty reveals what's really holding you back. So whether it's fear of rejection, fear of success, or simply just a lack of belief in your own abilities, once you recognize these barriers, you can work on overcoming them. The discomfort that comes with honesty is temporary, but the progress it unlocks is lasting. So in the end, the truth is freeing. It gives you the clarity and courage to face your dreams head on and take ownership of your future. So by committing to radical honesty with yourself, you stop hiding behind excuses and you start creating the life you've always wanted. And the third point is rewiring your mindset for success. So, shifting these limiting beliefs isn't a one time fix. It's about consciously reprogramming your mind to embrace possibility, abundance, and resilience. And as you adopt a mindset of growth and opportunity, you'll begin to see new paths unfold that once seemed out of reach. And that success starts with what you believe is possible for yourself. So take some time to really rewire your mindset for success. And shifting limiting beliefs isn't something that happens overnight. And I know that from going through lots of these processes time and time again with each chapter I've taken on in my life. It's a process that requires ongoing effort and intentionality. You don't just decide one day to change your mindset and suddenly all of your doubts disappear. In fact, often once we hit that next layer of growth, a new level of these doubts show up. So instead, it's about consciously reprogramming your mind to really embrace possibility, abundance, and resilience every single day. So, this process is at the heart of long term success because what you believe about yourself shapes what you're able to achieve. And our minds are like powerful machines, and they tend to follow the same patterns of thought unless we actively intervene. So limiting beliefs, those thoughts that tell you that success is only for others, that failure is to be feared, or that you'll never have enough, are ingrained over time. So to break free from these beliefs, you need to cultivate a new mental framework that supports growth and not scarcity. So the key is adopting a growth mindset. And I've spoke about this many times before, but this really does mean believing that your abilities, your skills, your intelligence can be developed over time with effort, learning, and perseverance. And so one of the ways that we can really start to shape our mind to look at being a good finder and really recognizing ourselves for the strengths we do have is making a list of things that you do want. Our brains are really wired to protect us. And so we naturally go to the things we don't want. And so with a growth mindset, we can see challenges as opportunities, not setbacks. And instead of fearing failure, we can view it as learning experiences. And so by embracing this lookout to really open yourself up to endless possibilities that were previously blocked by fear and doubt. And so rewiring your mindset also means shifting from a scarcity mindset, like I was mentioning, is not going to the space of, well, I don't want that and I don't want this, and that wouldn't be great. And I'm guilty of this too. But it's because we're human. And so I'm with a coaching client and I often ask a question, what is it that you do want? Or what does that life look like in 12 months from today? They start with a couple positive things and then we instantly, I see them go back to the things they don't want because we're naturally wired that way. So we have to be intentional with having an abundance mindset. And a scarcity mindset tells you that there's never enough, whether it's money, opportunities, or success, and that other people's wins somehow limit your own. And this kind of thinking is self-sabotaging because it creates a sense of lack and limitation, right? And in contrast, really being intentional by reprogramming and rewiring our mind to have an abundance mindset, it's rooted in the belief that there's more than enough success to go around and that opportunities are limitless. And when you operate from a place of abundance, you stop competing with others and you start focusing on your own unique path. Building resilience is another essential part of rewiring your mindset for success. Resilience means bouncing back from those setbacks, keeping that long-term vision, and refusing to give up when things get tough. When I work with coaching clients, one of the biggest keys to anybody to create that next level of success is really consistency. Consistency, showing up even when things get tough. And every successful person faces obstacles. But what sets people apart is that ability to keep going. And so when we take space to rewire our minds and really have this as a daily practice, and journaling really helps with this, is what are our strengths and really pouring into ourselves and rewiring our mind to see challenges as part of the journey rather than roadblocks. Right? The universe doesn't give us anything we can't handle. And we don't want things in life to get easier, right? We want to get better. And so when we can strengthen our ability to stay committed, that is really how we're going to continue to pursue the life of our dreams. And finally, rewiring your mindset requires daily practice. I talked about journaling. It's not enough to just think positively once in a while or repeat affirmations. And you need to reinforce new empowering beliefs by surrounding yourself with positive influences, reflecting on your progress, and continuously pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. One of the things that I love working on with my coaching clients, especially when I work with small businesses, is that I can be this outside person to sort of reflect on the progress and remind people of their strengths. And they get an opportunity to have that accountability. And so as you do this, new paths and opportunities will unfold. And ones that seemed out of reach before because you didn't believe, they will be possible. So ultimately, success starts with what you believe is possible for yourself. When you truly internalize that you have the power to shape your life, the doors to your potential swing open. Every time you choose to embrace a growth oriented, abundant, and resilient mindset, you get closer to living the life you've always dreamed of. So that's a wrap for today's podcast of the Dream Coach episode today. I hope you're walking away with a new understanding of just how important it is to shift those limiting beliefs and stop lying to yourself if you're serious about pursuing the life of your dreams. Remember, the biggest limitations you face are often the ones you place on yourself. When you shift your mindset and you break free from those internal barriers, you open up a world of possibility. It's about being honest with yourself, recognizing the excuses that you've been making, and realizing that the power to create your dream life is already within you. You just need to embrace it. So take action today. Start by identifying those limiting beliefs. Replace them with thoughts that empower you and be real with yourself. Stop making excuses and start moving forward because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the mindset you choose to hold on to. So, thanks again for tuning in. If you found today's episode helpful, don't forget to share it with someone who might need this message. Until next time, keep believing in yourself and keep dreaming big.